Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with Magali Duchalette, who is founder and CEO of Family Twist. Now, what is Family Twist? It's obviously a family tour operator gearing toward high-end luxury travel based in Paris. And we have talked to Magali before when we were at ILTM Con actually it was more than a few months ago. It was about 6 months ago. And we wanted to get an update on how her company was doing. And also they've created an interesting and very creative new program that might get families traveling and also give them something to do during the coronavirus crisis. Now, we're going to find out all about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Magali, how are you and where are you right now?
Well, hello, James, first, and I'm very well, thank you. I'm actually in Chamonix, as you can see here, probably. This is the Mont Blanc. Holidays, very healthy outdoor holidays, and a bit of work as well because we get ready for the virtual travel week next week. Right. So great time to disconnect and still a bit connected to travel industry.
So I hear you just got off climbing a mountain though, right?
I did. I was up there even yesterday. It was fantastic rock climbing and very close to the glacier. It was amazing.
Well, it sounds amazing. I wish I was there. Now, let's talk a little bit about the conditions. I mean, you're not in Paris right now, but in Paris and France right now. Has the city and France itself opened up as we emerge from the COVID-19 crisis? Are people starting to travel in France?
Well, actually, I think the situation in Paris and in France are quite different. In Paris, everything is open. All the attractions are open. And I can tell you it's a fantastic way to go, a fantastic time to go, because it's very, very not crowded, which is a good news and a bad news. But the Louvre just announced that in July, they had 3 times less people this year compared to last year. So it's a good moment to go and have a discussion with the Mona Lisa by yourself. I went to the Eiffel Tower 2 weeks ago, and I was by myself in the lift. Going up. The hotels have some good deals, even if most of the 5-star are not reopened, and they will reopen at the end of the month or early September. For the rest of France, it is very crowded at the moment, and it's full of French people. I think people follow the recommendations from the French government to stay in France. So here, for instance, in Chamonix, you cannot have a monthly guide for the next 3 days because everything is fully booked and packed. So I think it's really about French people at the moment. Foreigners haven't traveled so much so far, unfortunately, but we are confident it will be back soon, hopefully.
Well, you're right in the height of the vacation season, July and August, and so I'm sure everybody's heading to the mountains or maybe the Riviera or down south, and because they don't travel outside of France, they're going to make everything even more crowded with just the French themselves, right?
Yes, well, exactly. And, French people always travel at the same time, meaning between the 1st of August and the 21st of August. And then it will be empty again. But at the moment, it's good to have a nice holiday atmosphere with people, enjoying the sun and the summer.
That's great, or enjoying the mountains. Now, remind us a little about your company, Family Twist, and what it offers, and what kind of luxury travel programs you have for families.
Sure. Well, the whole concept of Family Twist is that it should be an option for family to discover culture, and especially culture in Europe. So we created a range of activities that are especially designed for families. So we have privately guided tours that are actually treasure hunts in museum, escape games, orientation games in most of the cities in Europe. And then we believe that kids learn having a variety of experiences. So we also created hands-on workshops with always locals sharing their passion. So we have bread baking classes in Paris, pasta baking in Italy, or mosaic making. We have a waltz workshop in Vienna. We can also learn street art in London. Well, many, many different things. And we can sell those activities individually, or we can include them in bespoke holidays, meaning that we will also add a family-friendly hotel and transportation fully secured for the kids, so with booster seats or baby seats.
That's great. Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about how have you worked to survive through this coronavirus crisis? I gather a pretty big part of your business is generated from American travelers and U.S. luxury travel advisors. And obviously that may have dried up for now, but maybe for next year. What have you done as a business, and especially since Americans are not permitted to travel to Europe with the EU 14-day quarantine at this point?
Well, sure. Well, it's true that a vast majority of our clients are coming from the US. And so the first thing we did was actually, unfortunately, to take care of all that were planned for this summer. So the whole team was really focusing on how we can help the families that plan to come to Europe this summer. Right. And we really worked hand by hand with the travel advisor, and I really want to underline that it was a really real partnership to try to really help them, and they also helped us in return to find the best solution for all the families traveling. And this was actually quite a bit of work, not the nicest one, but something that was really necessary.
Did you find that families wanted to just cancel and get refunds, or did you just offer them travel in the future?
We offered them to travel in the future.
Okay.
We were honestly really helped by the French government for that, because they very early applied a law that gave us the possibility to ask for people to postpone. But we tried to be as understanding as we could and take all the situations case by case, one by one, and discuss with the agencies and the travel advisors to see how we could help. But in average, we are more postponation really than cancellation, which is great news, because we cannot wait to welcome the families again very soon.
Yeah.
Then if we consider really the situation, of course, I don't have any magic recipe. I would love to share it with you right now, but it's difficult.
Please do. We're waiting for the solution.
I would love to have Americans coming back today or tomorrow, and we are really, really ready to welcome them. But unfortunately, that will not be the case, at least this month. But it's true that we are really, really helped again by the government, who offered to pay the salaries of our employees. And that really helped, and they just confirmed a few days ago actually that they will continue this program until the end of the year. Same for Italy. So we have the team working partial time at the moment to be able, to be really reactive on the emails, and if we have to help and plan some holidays, because we can see some new inquiries coming, and we are very happy with that. But we also have to save on the cost, as everybody in the industry is. So that is really, really helpful for us, so that we could keep the whole team with us at the moment, which I'm super happy about, because, we have a very good dedicated team.
Sure. Now the thing is, actually, we can come to you actually now. The State Department, as we were talking about earlier, just lifted its level 4 warning, and now people can travel, except we still have the 14-day quarantine thing. In Europe, I was telling you, we're all maybe going to ILTM Con later on, and I said if they still have the quarantine, if anybody can find me a French chateau to quarantine in for 14 days, I'm there. So then I'll go to ILTM. Why not? I mean, I wouldn't mind just living there. Now,
there's a worse place to stay, huh?
There are worse places, absolutely. Now, are you still operating any tours, or are you kind of targeting other countries from UK, France, rest of Europe?
Well, actually, that was an option, and we were very happy because we had a family doing a treasure hunt at the Louvre 30 minutes after it reopened, on the day it reopened after a full closure.
With probably nobody there, right?
Yeah, no, they were very happy to be inside, and it was a great experience, and the guide was so thrilled as well. But it's true also that it was an option for us to focus on the French guests, for instance. It's not what we do, and I was not convinced it would work in such a short amount of time. So I really preferred to focus on what we know and who we already work with and what we can offer them at this moment. So we really thought about what is Family Twist, what do we do, and what can we do in this situation.
Right.
And then we end up to the treasure boxes.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second, because you're going to show us a little bit about it. Now, overall, in general, and obviously travel boxes is one thing you're going to talk about, and how you're marketing during this crisis. But in general, how have you been marketing to the U.S. and to U.S. travel advisors during the crisis? even though you really don't have any customers coming to Europe. How have you been marketing to those advisors so they can in turn let their clients know?
Well, to be really transparent with you, we really focused on one-to-one relationship, and we called them all, and we had discussion with them, told them we were available to really exchange and give them all the information they needed. But that's pretty much it, because I also want to save the energy for everything when it's coming back up to the standards. No. So we didn't do so much. We focused a little bit on the social networks, but that's pretty much it. I also think that during the situation, many people didn't know anything about what would happen, and many people continue to talk. And I believe sometimes it's better not to say too much, and that's what we did. It's sometimes better not to say too much instead of saying things that are not always relevant or that are proven wrong or free.
You're right. Yeah, especially since we all thought early on that it was going to be back by the summer. And of course, in the U.S. here, it is back where you are. But unfortunately, here we are just entered another surge, and there's really little prospect through probably the end of the year. But no one knows, and so that's the problem. So now let's get to this, because you just announced this recently. We just alluded to it a little bit earlier. You have just developed a new program called Treasure Boxes, which sounds very intriguing. Actually, I hope you'll send me a treasure box. But can you tell us what is behind this, and how it illustrates your philosophy of what constitutes a great family trip?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but because that's the whole starting point, actually ended up doing the treasure boxes was the end of a long process that we had as a team, really stepping back and thinking about what is Family Twist and what is our mission. And we really thought that it is actually very important to travel as a family, not only because it's a leisure and it's nice, but also because it's the time where you really build your family. You build really long memories, and I'm sure you have plenty of examples of things you do remember when traveling with your parents.
My parents and with my own kids, yes, absolutely.
You see? And we believe it's a good opportunity to learn things, but also to meet new people, and so to open your mind to other cultures. Well, we really think it's important, and we were very, very sad to think that this will not happen this summer. So we thought, okay, how can we make that happen, but from home, because at the moment, all of our guests are staying home. And this is where we found this solution. We thought, well, if people cannot come to Europe, let's bring Europe to their back door and send them those treasure boxes. Put everything that Family Twist is inside.
Well, there's a funny thing, because, there is a game called Twister. So if you remember that, so now you could be Family Twister. That'll be interesting if you put all the board there. But you're actually going to show us, because you have two treasure boxes so far, focused on one on Paris and one on Italy. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, how families can use it and create interest in these destinations, and what actually are the activities and games you would like families to engage in, especially as they're sheltering at home here in the U.S.
Yeah, sure. Well, about the content, and then I'll tell you how you can order them online. So the idea was really to put a little bit of a trip with Family Twist inside a box. So you have different elements that I will try to show you. So very
it's the show and tell session, so you're good. Just let's see what you have.
There are many elements. So first you have a cultural discovery. So I have the parent box with me, so I'll show you. So you have some, so the discovery here is about the Eiffel Tower. So you have some games here that you have to solve, some questions, which is a little bit in the spirits of our game booklets. And you have a model of the Eiffel Tower to build. I did my homework.
Oh my God, that's sort of a little Lego type thing, right?
This was designed by a French artist who is working on paper, actually. And we worked on all of those questions with Katia, who is a guide we've been working with for 7 years. And we built a video together you can access with the boxes to show about the Eiffel Tower and have some information. Okay. Then, of course, talking about Paris, you had to cook something, because it's also part of the culture. So we discussed that with our chef, who we organized a workshop with when the families are coming to Paris. And she is a world champion in bakery. She's called Joanna. And we built goûter, a French goûter around the Madeleines, which is
I love Madeleine. Okay.
a very iconic biscuit or cake that you can do in France. And we provide a family with the baking pan to do the Madeleine, a professional one, and recipes to do the Madeleines, but also a smoothie, and also some sauces you can have to dip the Madeleines into.
I didn't really have much of a breakfast, and now you're making me hungry. So.
You see? And then a part of the Family Twist experiences are also the hands-on workshops. So in here we design a drawing workshop about the Eiffel Tower, where you have to reproduce the Eiffel Tower by Delaunay, which is a painting you can see at the
I know that well.
You see? And we divided it as a grid, and the families will have pieces of paper in their box and oil pastels, and they will reproduce this masterpiece with the help of Dominic, who is our art instructor, and they will build a giant masterpiece of Delaunay. So I can tell you with that, the kids will get busy for at least 2 or 3 afternoons. If you
there you go. That's the objective here, too.
And you can do that as a family, or the kids can do it by themselves, or with their au pair, or with a nanny, or whatever. And then we thought about this as really, and I will tell you first about Italy, because Italy is the same principle, except we focus on the Colosseum. The recipes are about gnocchis, and a hands-on workshop is about mosaic making. And for work with Patricio, who is the artist who welcomes the family in his workshop in Rome, and he cut all the pieces of marbles to build the kids' flower boxes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so then we thought about this as really a collection of 6 boxes you can order, and we had this thought about how can we make that really sustainable and not just have like 6 big boxes you cannot use afterwards. So we thought, how can we actually use the box in itself? And we decided to create a board game. So I will try to show you. It's quite big.
Okay.
There it is. Here we go.
There's the Seine and the Eiffel Tower, I can tell.
Yeah. And you have everything you need with questions. I will show you here. It will be easier. So you have cards, and the objective is to actually visit all the monuments of Paris. So you have to go to the different places, and you have some jokers, and you have some questions to answer. And so it's a game more to do as a family, and it's the same for Italy. And so the idea was really, to have a moment where as a family you can learn and have fun about the destination and start traveling a little bit as if you were traveling a destination with us.
No, that's fantastic. I'll tell you a quick little story is that my daughter was doing her own little summer camps down in New Orleans, just finished up, and she had 10 little girls in her house for 4 weeks, and one of the days, their activity was to go to Paris. So they had a day of Paris, and they had little French food, and they had, of course, being in New Orleans, that's not hard. And they just had a marvelous time. So this idea that you have sounds wonderful to get, and that is it your hope that these treasure boxes will generate really a desire by families and their kids to eventually travel to these destinations, maybe next year?
Yeah, that's the hope, and that's the hope on a short-term basis. We really thought about how can we have the kids busy as well, because we understand that having the kids at home is not that easy. I had mine, and I can tell you it was quite a bit of a challenge. And but on a long-term basis, I also think that people will travel for something. There will be a meaning for their travel, and I think when families are included, I think they will be willing to include their trip in a more longer-term education program, and I think they will want to learn. And it's been a few months that we are discussing with the guides, and sometimes they tell us, well, I had this family, they were amazing for 2 hours, but actually they were not really prepared. So I started the beginning to, give some facts about Paris and where is it. And that's a shame, because this is the time you don't spend actually sharing about the destination and the culture and how people live, which is sometimes even more interesting. But people are not really getting ready. And when you think about what are the options for a pre-trip, and they are very limited. And we discussed that with many travel advisors, and those, once the trip is sold, is the moment when there is the peak of excitement, and actually we don't have anything to help the family getting involved. They can go on a website and find and look for information. Not great for the kids. They can buy the guidebook, but that's pretty much it. And it's a shame because we cannot continue building the relationship with them before they travel. Right. And we believe this is a good thing because the kids will have fun, but still they will get ready. They will learn a little bit about the destination. And once they actually are at destination, they can really make it even more interesting and more intense in a way. So that's the whole...
It's a great idea, and actually not just for this era of COVID-19, but as you said, in the future, when you've sold the trip, and you can send a box to the family that's bought the trip, and they can have fun learning about the destination before they get there, and then they'll realize it when they're there, right?
Yeah, and I guess there was also something on a more team perspective, which was that, you know, I created Family Twist 9 years ago, and it's all about the people who are involved. I mean, we've had so many nice anecdotes with the guides and the chefs and also the travel advisors, and we wanted to get something positive out of all of this and try to involve everybody. And I can tell you that when we start talking about this project with the guides, with the travel advisor, for a few minutes, they were thinking about something else than just this virus. And everybody was really happy to focus on something a little bit different.
Absolutely.
So just for that, it's already a success.
We're all very tired of talking about COVID-19. Yeah. Believe me, I'm tired of writing about it. Believe me. But yeah, so where can people get these treasure boxes, whether it's a travel advisor that might want to get them to a client that maybe they can work on a booking for 2021 and start getting them thinking in the next few months about it? How do they get that, and how do your clients get it?
Yeah, sure. Well, we created a dedicated website, so it's called family-treasure-boxes.com. And you can buy them there. And of course, we give a commission to the travel advisors, as we do for normal trips. And they can contact us directly on this website or on the Family Twist website. But you can order online. You can order only the first box, which is completely independent and works very well by itself. You can order the collection. And you can find all the informations and all the pictures and also all the communication support that you might need to either offer them to the guests or to sell them to the guests. We try to be really flexible, you know, because I think if we learn something out of this is that we have to be flexible. So,
yeah, what's the new word here in America is pivot.
Exactly.
To pivot and make changes on a dime, because you never know what's going to happen. Of course, none of us ever imagined how bad this situation would be, but I think people are learning how to do that, and hopefully, as we emerge, whether we have a vaccine or whether we just have enough preventative care and precautions like masks and things, we will be able to get back. But boxes like this, the treasure boxes, is definitely a way to get through it. That's for sure.
And you know, it's very interesting because we talked very early about them to the travel advisors, even if we only had a few pictures at the beginning, to really see their point of view, and we really learned with them. So at the beginning we thought, well, actually that could be something they can sell to their client, and that would be another source of revenue for them. But some of the advisors said, well, actually I want to offer them to my biggest clients because at the moment I don't have anything to keep the relationship with them. And, you know, they were super nice to actually postpone their trip and not cancel. Some told us, well, I think I will organize a competition on the social networks, and this will be the prize for the competition. So really at the moment we are open to listen to everything that the travel advisor thinks about those boxes, and we will stay as flexible as possible to make it evolve. You know, we've always worked like that at Family Twist. We start with a few options and then we listen and we make it evolve this way. So
now are you working on any other programs that we might expect to see in the future, either marketing or tour programs or new destinations that you had in the back of your mind that maybe you could start offering in a year or two, or at least, you know, do the preliminary work? Because everybody says this is a time to, you know, think about your business. I mean, personally, we can't think. We're writing so much and doing videos that it's hard to think about our business, although we have had some innovations here at Insider Travel Report too, like a new weekly TV program that we do every Monday. which we just did the first one this Monday, and now I got to write the second one. So now I'm wondering why I decided to do this, but it's not easy. But is this a time when you can look at this for Family Twist? Well,
it's a bit difficult for me to answer this question. Well, first, we spent quite a bit of time working on the boxes, to be honest. And
you're very intricate. You got a lot going on there.
And I really hesitate about that because certainly you have some time to think about it, but you don't really know what is going to happen. So it's a bit early for me we thought about what is Family Twist, and we really had this long discussion about our values and our mission, etc. And we are ready for that. But now I want to give us a little bit of time to just observe and see how things will go back to normal, if they are, and what are the new inquiries coming from the clients. So I really want to listen to them first and then be ready to act very quickly in the right direction.
Right. Well, that's great. And now, is there any other message you want to get out to travel advisors here in the U.S., either about Family Twist, the destinations you feature, or how they can better sell or get back selling your travel products in the future?
Yeah, well, first, I would like to say a very, very, very big thank you to all of them, because I really understand the situation, even if we are very far away. And I know it was really difficult. And honestly, I think everybody did their best to stay positive and nice, which is not always easy when the situation is complicated. And I think it really built very strong relationships. And then I would like to say that we are so looking forward to welcome your guests in Europe. And I'm talking about myself, but the whole Family Twist team, and also all the guides and chefs and artists and everybody involved. I can tell you that we will go the extra mile for your families when they are coming back, because we miss them a lot.
Well, we miss being in France and Italy, the destinations that you, believe me, I was going to be going to both places this year, and I'm still have a faint hope of going to Cannes for the International Luxury Travel Market in December. Yeah. One of the few conferences left, if I can get in there. But, we definitely miss traveling to Europe, and we just hope to get back soon.
Yeah. So, that's what I wanted to say. And so we are ready. We are ready for whenever it is. We'll be here to make your families happy to travel in Europe very soon.
Now, just remind us of the best way to contact Family Twist and find out more information about the company.
Sure. Well, by email is contact@family-twist.com. The website is family-twist.com. For the treasure boxes, it's family-treasure-boxes.com. And we'll be part of the Virtuoso Travel Week next week. So we know that we will work a lot, and we will see as many of you as possible very soon.
Excellent. Well, Magali, it's great to see you again. We talked when we were in Cannes. It seems a long time ago. And I can't wait. Hopefully, we'll be in Cannes together this year. We'll see what happens. And good luck with the Virtuoso Week. This will probably appear right after it. And I'm going to it as well, the virtual. And then that seems to be the way we see each other now virtually. But I'll let you go now, because I know you have a few mountains to climb still. You got one under your belt, but another one if you're going to be out there in Chamonix. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk about Family Twist, to talk about these wonderful treasure boxes, which I think is a very innovative marketing idea that fun for the whole family, as they say, right? So it will be a great thing and inspire people and kids. I remember, just a quick aside, there was a set of books called This is Paris, This is London, This is whatever, that I had as a kid, that when I read those books, all I could think of was going to those places. Unfortunately, I had the opportunity with my family to do so, and I have fond memories of being in all the places you're talking about because of that. I think this kind of treasure box, these games, are going to do the same thing for a lot of kids and families. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, James. It was great talking to you, and I hope I'll see you in Cannes for real very soon.
Absolutely. Well, take care. And again, be careful out there on those mountains, and we'll see you soon. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.